And now, your CBS 19 Weather Authority forecast from the Bright Star Care Charlottesville Weather Center.
Skies mostly clear at this hour in central Virginia, but you go west of I-81, you pick up clouds in the Shenandoah Valley, Allegheny, Bath, Highland counties, Pendleton County, West Virginia, and snow showers all the way north into western Maryland, where a few inches of snow could accumulate. The winter that wasn't. Tomorrow, the last day of winter and also the first day of spring. The new season starts at 11:16 p.m. I showed you this earlier, worth pointing out again. Our high temperature of 56 today in Charlottesville, 4 degrees below normal, one of the few days this month where we've actually had a high below normal. Tomorrow, a little closer, but still falling short, at least by my forecast. 58 in Charlottesville, Scottsville the same, Livingston 57. Sunshine for everybody with 59 degrees in Orange, 57 for Culpeper, 57 in Palmyra, 60 in Bumpus, 58 at Lake Monticello. Valley commuters, it'll be a very blustery day. 54 in Stanton, 55 in Elkton, Broadway 53, Waynesboro 55. Traveling elsewhere, sunshine in Norfolk and Richmond, 53 in D.C., and Roanoke at 58 degrees. High pressure trying to build in, but also driving that wind across the area that'll keep going through tomorrow. Although once this cold front in the northern plains moves through Wednesday, very, very blustery day. That's the only thing this front will provide. Gusts up to 40 miles per hour, and that's why I'm concerned about elevated fire danger. Now, there's an elevated risk for wildfire spreading tomorrow, but this fire weather watch indicating possible fire, ideal fire conditions for central Virginia, that's for Wednesday. Either way, just acknowledge the outdoor burn ban. Be careful where you dispose cigarette butts and just use common sense. It's very dry out there, even with all the rain we've had so far this month. Excuse me. High probability precipitation Friday into Saturday. That's the system I'm watching for the long term. I would think that we get between 1/2 and 1 inch of rain area wide. Still, that's going to be our only real chance for rain, as well as the only time we really get to bring those pollen counts down. Normal high this time of year, 60 degrees, and this is consistent, but again, no 70s and 80s. Ashley, Alexia, we're talking high temperatures very close to normal for the bulk of the next 7 days.
All right, Travis, thank you. Health check now. The first oral contraceptive approved for over-the-counter use with no age limit in the United States is now available for online purchase.
Healthcare experts say that this marks a major milestone in access to contraception here in the United States. Michael Yoshida has the latest.
For the first time in U.S. history, online orders have begun for over-the-counter birth control pills. There are no age restrictions and no prescription necessary.
I think is a win for everybody. It allows improved access to contraceptive care to women. It is also, I think, financially very doable.
Perrigo, the company behind the pill, says 1-month packs will be sold with a suggested price of $19.99. Approved by the FDA last year, the company says O-Pill is 98% effective at preventing pregnancy when taken as directed at the same time every day. OBGYN Dr. Sujatha Reddy says most hormonal birth control pills contain both progestin and estrogen, which for some can carry risk of blood clots, heart attacks, affect migraine headaches, and shouldn't be used by smokers over 35. But O-Pill uses only progestin to prevent pregnancy.
There are some people who should not take the estrogen combination pills, but for them, O-Pill is probably safe.
She says the list of people who shouldn't take progestin-only pills for medical reasons is very short, including those with certain conditions like breast cancer or liver disease, or if they're taking certain medications.
In general, birth control is very safe, and I think we're seeing improved access because it's been around for so long, and we know it's very safe.
Following the online launch, O-Pill is expected to hit shelves later this month at major retailers and pharmacies, including Walgreens and CVS. I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
Well, to mark the first Health Workforce Wellbeing Day of Awareness and sparking the conversation for healing healthcare and what that looks like at UVA, the Director of Compassionate Care Initiative shared her conversation with U.S. Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy. Experts with UVA say this is a vital part of how the medical center can operate to ensure the well-being and mental health of everyone in healthcare and make sure that healthcare workers can be their best selves while taking care of others.
just the innate ability of people to heal and to have compassion for one another, and how in medical training or nursing training that gets challenged very early on when we see role models who are held up because of the head of medicine versus what he calls the heart of medicine.
Today's event is kicking off the inaugural Health Workforce Wellbeing Day of Awareness.
The hot topic of a 4-day work week bill could become a reality.
Not everyone is for the idea since it could hurt businesses. We have more explanations after the break.
Well, Fox means business now. There's a push to shorten the standard U.S. work week from 40 to just 32 hours. A bill was recently proposed in the Senate aiming to make that a reality.
The UK even tested that idea and found it to be highly successful, but some critics worry a 4-day work week could hurt businesses. Jen Sullivan looks at the pros and cons in today's Consumer Watch.
How does a 4-day work week sound? Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders wants to make that a reality, proposing a bill that would cut the work week down to 32 hours without reduced pay.
The sad reality is Americans now work more hours than the people of any other wealthy nation.
In many European countries, employees have shorter work weeks. France has a federally mandated 35-hour work week. Denmark has a 37-hour work week. Belgium has adopted a 4-day work week. And the UK recently tested the idea. 61 companies did a trial run of the 4-day work week between June and December of 2022. The director of the 4-day week campaign talked about the results last fall.
It was overwhelmingly successful.
Nearly 90% of the businesses that participated in the pilot were still operating with the 4-day work week 1 year later. 31 of those companies have made the change permanent.
When workers have that 4-day week, 32 hours, no loss of pay, they come back into the workplace working much more effectively, efficiently, they're better rested, also more creative.
The program also found revenue remained the same during the trial, and in some cases even ticked up slightly. Critics, though, worry it could hurt employers and employees in the future.
They would ship those jobs overseas, or they would automate to replace those workers for whom they have an increased expense, or they would dramatically increase prices to make this stay afloat.
Some unions support the bill, but it's unlikely to pass in the Senate. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
United Airlines CEO is sending a message to passengers about safety. The message comes after 2 incidents involving United planes. In one case, a tire fell from a United Boeing 777 shortly after takeoff. In another case, a Boeing 737 jet was discovered to have a missing panel after it landed. In his message, Scott Kirby says that United's team are reviewing each case to understand exactly what happened. He said that the company will use what it learns in its safety training and procedures. Kirby says that that's in addition to changes that were already planned.
Taxi and hired drivers who lost business when Uber entered Australia's market score a victory in a lawsuit settlement. Uber has agreed to pay $178 million to about 8,000 of Australia's taxi and hired drivers. The agreement comes as a class action lawsuit against the company was expected to go to court. A lawyer for the firm representing the drivers says they suffered losses from an aggressive entry by Uber into Australia, and Uber avoided claims they should be compensated. A key plaintiff in the suit says Australia's taxi and car operators won an important decision against the global giant.
This was a win for small businesses of mum and dad investments. This was a win for taxi drivers, taxi operators, hire car operators, and the result today I'm very pleased with, as it hasn't been done before. We suggested that Uber acted illegally and they needed to pay, and that they have today.
Uber says that they helped Australia grow its point-to-point transportation industry and brought earnings opportunities to hundreds of thousands of Australian workers.
In Hollywood now, competitions continue for The Masked Singer and MasterChef Junior. Well, there's a surprise on Farmer Wants a Wife and more.
Here's Fox's Ashton working with a look at what's coming up on This Week on Fox TV.
Special guests on MasterChef Junior are part of what's hot on Fox. Monday, the Harlem Globetrotters join MasterChef Junior as guest judges, and the first team challenge is preparing them hearty meals.
Let's go.
Then it's day 3 of auditions on season 18 of So You Think You Can Dance.
I think a cartel took Armand.
Tuesday on The Cleaning Lady, Nadia confronts Agent Russo for information about Armand's disappearance, while Tony comes across a woman in need of medical attention.
You're like my babysitter? I'm your partner.
The drama continues on Alert Missing Persons Unit, where the MPU are on the case of a pregnant woman who went missing hours before giving birth.
Billy Joel.
Then sing us some songs for the Piano Man. It's Billy Joel night on The Masked Singer. Robin Thicke sings a rendition of My Life, and more masked celebrities perform classic Billy Joel tunes.
It's a furry party.
After that, the comedy ensues on Animal Control, including for Shred on his first night shift.
The name is Ben.
Then Peter and friends reflect on their dream jobs on Family Guy.
Dough, cheese.
Thursday, the 10 remaining Next Level Chef contestants are tasked with making next level pizzas.
I do like you.
That's followed by Farmer Wants a Wife, where the dating dynamic is shaken up and the whole group gets back together for a campsite mixer.
Brace for impact.
Friday rounds out the week with WWE Friday Night SmackDown. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Celine Dion is speaking out about her current medical condition. The singer revealed back in 2022 that she's battling stiff person syndrome, a rare neurological condition that triggers spasms and muscle rigidity. Last Friday marked Stiff Person Syndrome Awareness Day, and Dion posted a message on her Instagram account about her personal fight. She said that battling the condition has, quote, been one of the hardest experiences of my life, end quote. She said that she's determined to one day get back on stage and live as normal of a life as possible. Dion stopped touring and performing live when she revealed her diagnosis.
AMC announces that they will broadcast the Summer Olympics at select theaters. NBC Universal and AMC Entertainment announced Wednesday last week that 160 AMC theaters across the country will stream the Paris Summer Olympics. The decision to broadcast the Summer Games comes after AMC's chief executive mentioned broadcasting alternative content after seeing major success with Beyonce and Taylor Swift's concert films. In recent years, they've streamed WWE and UFC events. Showings for the Summer Olympics will start on July 27th and end August 11th.
Today, the late Toby Keith was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame. The vote to elect Keith as the annual Modern Day inductee came just days before he died back in February. The museum highlighted his 11 USO tours and the 200 shows that he put on for armed service members. Keith was previously inducted into the Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame and the All Genre Songwriters Hall of Fame. He also received a BMI Icon Award back in 2022. Well, take a look at this. A pair of ruby slippers worn by Judy Garland in The Wizard of Oz that were once stolen are now about to go on a world tour. The shoes were taken from the Judy Garland Museum in her hometown of Grand Rapids, Minnesota, nearly 20 years ago, before being recovered by the FBI just 6 years ago and finally returned to their owner. Heritage Auctions in Dallas will be taking the shoes on an international tour before ultimately putting them up on the auction block in December.
Because why not? The ruby slippers played a key role in especially the memorable scene in the much-loved 1939 musical. Garland's character Dorothy danced down that yellow brick road in her sparkly shoes, joined by the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Cowardly Lion. To return home to Kansas, she had to click those heels 3 times and repeat, "There's no place like home." And you know what? Now they're going on tour. Why not?
They're famous.
They're famous.
Famous
You want to
ruby
see them,
red
Travis?
slippers.
Sure.
Try them on. There you go.
Might feel a little too big for those. Spring begins late Tuesday. Breezy, fire danger enhanced on Wednesday. Rain late Friday into Saturday morning could be a decent soaker for the area.
Yeah, keep an eye out for those. Travis, thank you for that forecast, and thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.